It has been a historic day in New Orleans. For the first time, a sitting mayor of New Orleans is facing federal charges. Today, a federal grand jury handed up an indictment against Mayor LaToya Cantrell and her former bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappie. She faces 11 counts, including wire fraud, obstruction, and lying to a grand jury. This all centers around their alleged romantic relationship and how much it cost the city of New Orleans. The indictment alleges that for about 3 years, Cantrell manufactured opportunities to travel with Vappie to engage in personal activities at taxpayers' expense, costing the city about $70,000. And Cantrell and Vappie are accused of trying to cover up their relationship by lying, even under oath, and deleting WhatsApp messages.
Child, listen up. Did y'all hear that New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell just got hit with 18 counts? Wire fraud, obstruction of justice, false statements, false declaration before a grand jury, and more? And guess what? Homegirl risked it all for nothing more than a man. Her own bodyguard, no less. Honey, you really can't make this stuff up.
Absolutely. I mean, every one of these charges are federal felonies. So potentially, both Mr. Vappie and the mayor are facing potential time in a federal penitentiary if they're convicted.
I mean, it's like she took a page right out of a Tyler Perry movie. And the messy part? The bodyguard was even married. Of course he was. Now, as mayor, LaToya Cantrell had a lot riding on the success of her administration. She made history as the first sitting female mayor in New Orleans' more than 300-year history. When she was re-elected in 2021, her team promised to focus on pressing issues like affordable housing, infrastructure, and helping the community recover from Hurricane Ida. But her time in office has been anything but peaceful. The first signs of trouble surfaced around 2022 when she faced backlash for spending over $30,000 in taxpayer money on first-class flights to Europe and elsewhere. Then in 2023, subpoenas arrived, questioning her lavish spending on clothing and gifts. Yet, as dramatic as all that was, no one could have guessed the biggest shocker was still coming.
She's taken a, spit in the eye attitude, and she said, I want him back on my detail, and I'm going to continue to travel, and all those things indicate to me that she may very well decide to go to trial. But believe me, everybody's going to trial until they're not, and they're going to be people that are going to line up to get on Team USA to testify against her at that trial, and right now she's kind of on the borderline in my calculations between probatable and non-probatable sentencing guidelines. Of course, it's always up to the judge, but these are some of the things she's going to have to consider.
As mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell was protected by the city's Police Executive Protection Unit. And when she was re-elected in 2021, Jeffrey Vappie joined her security detail as a bodyguard. But instead of just doing their jobs, they allegedly began a secret romantic relationship, thinking they could keep it hidden, until federal investigators uncovered the truth. Vappie served on her detail from May 2021 to November 2022, then again from June 2023 until his retirement in April 2024, with Cantrell reportedly using her authority to keep him employed and allowing him to bill the city for time spent on personal activities, including 14 out-of-state trips to Scotland, the UAE, San Francisco, and Martha's Vineyard. While Vappie occasionally worked long hours, much of that time was spent dining and relaxing with Cantrell, costing taxpayers around $70,000 in salary and expenses. Surveillance footage, over 15,000 text messages, audio clips, and photos revealed their attempts to cover up the relationship and coordinate secret meetings, avoid public detection, intimidate staff, and mislead investigators. When they caught wind of a federal grand jury investigation, they escalated efforts to obstruct justice by lying to colleagues, intimidating subordinates, and even harassing a citizen who photographed them. Though many noticed something was off, Cantrell and Vappie silenced critics with their power, and when questioned about lavish taxpayer-funded trips, Cantrell insisted they were necessary for her health and safety as a female mayor. This scandal has rocked New Orleans, casting a shadow over Cantrell's historic tenure and raising serious questions about abuse of power and betrayal of public trust, as the city now watches closely to see what consequences will follow.
Well, I get criticized for everything. But I have to do the work. I have to stay focused because the alternative is doing nothing. And you know what? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But I'm gonna do.
At one point, someone explicitly warned LaToya Cantrell that using public funds for her relationship with bodyguard Jeffrey Vapey was a felony, but she dismissed the warning. Their text messages revealed multiple alerts from others cautioning both Vapey and LaToya that their affair was illegal, and that it was only a matter of time before they would be caught. Instead of stopping, they chose to cover their tracks. Around November 2022, Vapey began researching criminal defense attorneys in New Orleans and looked into WhatsApp security features, information he likely shared with LaToya. When a subpoena was issued in 2023 demanding she produce records, LaToya claimed in an affidavit that she had set her WhatsApp messages to automatically delete after 24 hours, which meant very little evidence was left to submit. However, federal investigators uncovered many of the deleted messages anyway and noted that, at the time of the subpoena, LaToya still possessed over 50 pictures, including screenshots of conversations with Vapey, that she could have provided but chose to conceal and lie about. This deliberate effort to hide evidence only deepened the case against her, highlighting attempts to obstruct the investigation and intensifying the legal troubles surrounding the scandal.
How I came in seems to be how I'm going out. Accusation after accusation after accusation, but also a track record of delivering results.
Now that LaToya Cantrell and Jeffrey Vapey have been indicted, there's nowhere left for them to run. Beyond the web of lies they spun, what makes this scandal even more uncomfortable is that both were married during their affair. LaToya's husband, Jason Cantrell, passed away in 2023, yet LaToya shockingly brought Vapey to his funeral. Truly diabolical. Meanwhile, Vapey's wife, Danielle, divorced him in 2023 citing adultery, revealing that Vapey had been unfaithful multiple times since their marriage. Understandably, Danielle reached her breaking point. Despite the mounting charges, LaToya continues to maintain her innocence, though the evidence against her tells a damaging story. For each count, both defendants face fines up to $250,000 and a $100 mandatory special assessment fee. If convicted of wire fraud, they could face up to 20 years in prison and 3 years of unsupervised release. And all this turmoil for what? An office fling. The public's disappointment runs deep, as Cantrell wasn't just any mayor. She was the first Black woman to hold the position in New Orleans' 300-plus-year history. Many had hoped she'd advance opportunities for other women, making her fall from grace all the more heartbreaking and frustrating. Some even call for her to be jailed, noting a disturbing pattern of Black women mayors facing federal investigations or indictments. Comments are buzzing with opinions, with some wishing LaToya and fellow indicted Mayor Tiffany Henyard might share a cell. New Orleans is already in chaos, and this scandal only fuels it. So what do you think? Will LaToya and Vapey be found guilty? Sound off in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.